Hello, everyone, and welcome to another speed build. So, today I decided I wanted to finally do a large vacation home build um, for outdoor retreat. Um, I've been wanting to do this for a little while, and when I thought about doing this, I really wanted to create kind of a couple of different things. So this is, the holiday season, and I wanted to build a Christmas vacation home. However, I also wanted a home that I could use year round. So the start of this build, and for most of the build, is going to be a normal vacation home. And then eventually, I'm going to switch over to making it a Christmassy themed vacation home. Both are available on the gallery as of when this video goes live. And I love the idea of this because you can just easily switch it out. Um, so it can be a, Christmas vacation home or a regular vacation home, whichever you prefer. So you're going to see that this home is set up a little differently than some homes. Um, It is definitely a unique vibe to it, but I love it. So your main floor is the upper floor, and then your um, bottom floor is going to be your bedrooms. All right, so I do want to warn you, I have a cat running around my desk right now. I knew this was going to happen. So my camera may be really wiggly. I've just lost a whole bunch of stuff. But take a look at him. Look at this guy. He's adorable and he knows it. He is. He's adorable and he knows it. Okay. So hopefully he will sit on my lap because I don't know. He's been needy today. Okay. So anyway, as I'm working on this, wonderful build here, I I knew the look I wanted for the house, but I wasn't sure floor plan and how that was going to work. So yeah, I had to play around quite a bit, but it turned out really cool. You can see here, I'm trying to figure out windows, and I had an inspiration home, and the windows in that home went all the way up to this, the roof line. We don't have anything that would do that the way I have this built. So after playing with it for a little while, um, I think I finally just gave up and said, never mind. So you'll see a little bit of that going on. Um, I also I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to get this to look the way I wanted. So, but it did come together quicker than I thought. I knew it was going to be a larger build. So this is an expensive vacation home, but it's cute. And I like that you can change it out. I did try to keep it kind of minimal, not really a theme build, for your normal use. Of course, I went crazy on the Christmas items, so expect that. But for the normal year-round build, I didn't. I didn't do anything too crazy. I did decorate. I'm not saying I didn't. Okay. So here I'm trying to figure out the floor plan and how I want it to work and look. I realized that I made it too big. My original plan was to put just a little bit of stuff outside. So I had set this back further in the lot. And then I also just made it big and realized that it was going to be too big. It is a big build. I believe it is a, let's see, 4, 5, 6 bedroom vacation home. And yeah, so it's got lots of space for family events and gatherings. That was kind of my goal with it. But I was looking at this, and originally, what I wanted to do was create a nice big, like, great room area where the kitchen was opened up to the dining room and, or the living room, either one. And then I was like, I still have too much space. So I knew I wanted it to have a lot of bedrooms. So I didn't want to bring it down anymore. So we also have a game room on the main floor, so that's fun. I I also had this area here. You can see me playing with this, trying to figure out how I'm gonna set up these rooms. I do have some hallways in here that I put in because again, I had the space. And originally I was thinking um like bathroom and a hallway between the bathrooms there in the front under the stairs. But then I realized, no, I don't want to do that. Um, I still had a lot more room. So kind of figured there was going to be a room there. And then I wanted there to be two master bedrooms and then two, I guess, kids' rooms, technically. That is how I end up designing them. But you can, of course, change it if you don't want to use it as a children's room. So, okay. So I'm getting everything set up here, getting the floor plan figured out. And I think it's pretty close to what I end up with. I do make some changes here and there. The master bedrooms end up, um, I mean, the same type of floor plan, but with, some additional things in there. And I really wanted to use these big windows throughout, mostly because the inspirational home had these big windows. Um, So here I'm just trying to figure out how to get a bathroom into the master without cutting into a window. That's the downside with these windows. They uh they are big. They're very big and they take up a lot of space. So, yeah, getting those to work was interesting. All right. So, I also decided that having these, I guess, flower beds was a cool idea there. I didn't really want to put big windows in that area. So I figured flower beds would be a good idea. And I have bushes in there because I will be exchanging them for the new bushes we got from the celebration event. I think that's what it's called. Whatever this Christmassy one was called. Um, so I put those in. This build does include a few items from that. And of course, lots of season stuff. But it is a multi-pack build. I was going to limit it, but I decided not to because that wasn't fun and I wanted something fun. I will be going back and doing builds that are just the outdoor retreat and base game probably at some point because I want it for my Townie Refresh series world I'm working on. If you haven't seen that, I go back and I have been redoing townie homes. So base game townies are base game only. I'm currently working on Windenburg, and so those will be get together and base game only builds. So if you haven't checked that out, I will leave a link, hopefully up above over here somewhere, and you can check that out if you would like. All right, so this kitchen I struggled with. I changed the colors on it a few times. I'm going to be honest, I'm still not thrilled with how it turned out. We we need some more cabinets. And I get retreat is supposed to be mostly an outdoor, you know, focused hack, but we do have these cabins, and it would have been nice to have gotten more cabinets, I guess. But these are close. They're rustic. They work. I just struggled because I couldn't quite get the colors I wanted, I guess, is what my problem was. But it does work. I also, as usual, had my problems with curtains. So curtains are interesting in this build. Curtains for this main floor especially really dictated the color scheme here. So instead of doing what I wanted to do, I ended up having to put some blues in here because it's The Sims and they like blue. Everything has a blue swatch, I swear. Um, so that kind of affected all of that. Right. So here, kind of figuring out windows for this area. This is going to be the dining room, and I I really originally wanted to have it all open, but decided to close it off so that I could create this L kitchen area. And there's a lot of dining space here, uh, but that's okay. If you're gonna have a ton of people in this vacation home, you're gonna need it. I wanted to also set it up so let's say you do use this as a Christmas vacation home. You can still invite people to your vacation home. So you could have a nice Christmas party with a bunch of Sims, along with whoever you brought on vacation. So I really wanted to make sure that there was enough space to do that. And I think I achieved it. So, um, lots of, lots of areas to sit and gather was my goal. And I think I achieved that to an extent. I didn't go too crazy, I promise. But, and then of course, I have to clutter it up a little bit. Um, Added in some essentials, as I call it. So you have your Instapot, slow cooker, pressure cooker thing, whatever you want to call that, a tea kettle, the waffle maker from Home Chef Hustle, and just a few other random things that I think you would find in a vacation home. Um, I also put these shelves in, so of course I had to clutter them up so you don't end up with dishes up there because that happens all the time. Uh, let's see what else. Playing with colors. I could not figure out colors for these appliances. Originally, as I said, I wanted to match um, what was in the cupboards. And then unfortunately, like curtains, I could not. I didn't like the ones that kind of matched this. They didn't go with the vibe. Um, I do have medium wall height uh, walls on this main floor. So that really affected the curtains I could have. I would really love to see the Sims team go back and give us more base game curtains that are taller. I would like them to do some recolor things. I would really like the seasons curtains to actually have like holiday themed. I think that would be cool because I did struggle once I got to that point as well, and you'll see that. Um, but but I think I talk all the time about curtains and how much I wish they could change. They could, go through and update them more, I guess. It would be nice. A base game update is needed. That's my opinion. I don't think they care about my opinion. So that's fine. All right. So over here, I decided I wanted to put a coffee station. And I was gonna do like a nice high-end thing, but I decided not to. So I use this coffee maker here, bring the tea kettle over, and create a cute little coffee station. I like it. I love coffee. I actually have some right here. And now I'm gonna drink it. And I like putting those in my build. I would love to see more coffee stuff too. We could do a coffee pack. I know technically we have what Get Together has a bunch of stuff, but yeah. So I tried to use these curtains. I didn't like, I don't know, it just didn't give me the vibe I wanted. So then I tried to like play with sizes on things. And then I found these from City Living. And I know City Living, but um they do have this blue swatch that kind of worked. So I ended up going that route and changing everything to like a blue color. And they worked out all right. So these get used in here and in the dining room, and it worked out fine. I think it wasn't quite the vibe I was going for. That's why I said we kind of need some more, even just solid colored curtains that are taller. Um, I would love to see some of the seasons curtains also get taller heights. Uh, I think the fact that we have tall walls in the base game, they really need to go through and give us some taller curtains in the base game because we need it. Something that needs to be done. Okay, I promise I will stop talking about curtains. Apparently that's where my mind is. So, all right. So anyway, trying to figure out here what fireplace I want to put in. And I originally figured I'd tuck the fireplace away, but I ended up changing my mind and I used this one originally. It gets replaced later. And I thought this would be cute. We can put in this nice rustic table and chairs. Um, I did play with tables a couple times. I go back to the one I originally had, and it works. I like it. So get that in. And again, I wanted to use more of the cabiny looking furniture because it is outdoor retreat. But again, they just don't have a lot. And I get it. Camping. But when you only have one lot that's a campsite, just saying. It needs a refresh. So I play around with this hutch thing too over here. Something had to go over here. And nothing was working. I I really wanted something cool over here. And you can see I tried. I tried numerous times to get something that I liked over here. It just wasn't working with me, and I was very sad. I I don't even think I showed everything I looked at, because I'm pretty sure there was something between those two hutches, but I could be wrong. I tried a bar. That didn't work either. And then I tried this hutch from the bistro pack. I It looked too clean. It didn't have the rustic vibe I wanted. So get rid of that. And yeah, I finally finally after a few hutches decided that using this one from Seasons and the shelves from the outdoor retreat pack was the solution. So I do like the shelves. They give that rustic vibe to it. And I could put a few things up there, so that was nice. I did end up using these wine bottles. I believe that's from the bistro pack. I think that's the only thing. There are a couple of things that are very decorative, that are from like kits and so on. So if you see those and you don't have them, um, it's really not that dire to the build if you want to download this. Now, Seasons is a must. Outdoor Retreat, of course, is a must. the ranch pack, horse ranch pack is a must. Um, and I'm trying to think of anything else I used a lot of in here. Dream Home Decorator might be not necessarily a must. It's just I think those are the bunk beds I put downstairs. And City Living curtains, they'll replace them. Honestly, I really kind of like them not having curtains at all, but that's me. So I wanted to put curtains in for those of you who prefer them. But I'll be honest, I'll probably take these out of this build, or I'm gonna find some custom content ones to throw in. Um, I might share that if I do hunt that down and find some. I'm kind of hoping to find some Christmassy curtains. So if you use CC and have some great like Christmas CC that you use, like curtains or anything really, let me know. I have some, but I don't think I have any curtains. Anyway, I didn't want to make this a custom content build anyway. So I will say, when it comes to the blue, I really like the rug I put down in the dining room. That one looked good. I liked it. All right, so here I am in the living room now, and I decided to put this fireplace here. I changed out the one in the dining room. I'm not sure if I showed that on camera or if I did it later, but decided to use this one in here instead. And it's, I like it. I do end up in the Christmas version of this build, changing that out. Um, I don't even think I show that on camera, but we'll get into that later. Okay, so here trying to make a cozy living space, and it was difficult. I could not figure out what I wanted to do at all. It was just, I struggled. I struggled with this one. I really wanted to use the green sofa. That was my problem. And I end up changing it because nothing goes with that green. Like nothing. It was very annoying. So changing it over eventually does help. I'd still use it. It's still there. But yeah, I could not figure out anything to use with this. Rugs were difficult. I struggled. I struggled. But I found this rug and I figured it looked pretty good with this. So changed the sofa to the red and that helped. That helped quite a bit. So here I'm still looking at space, trying to figure out what I might want to put in here. Do I want more end tables? Do I want the seating further apart? Do I want closer together? And a lot of this was just trial and error and more so than normal. But once I started, I moved away from that and started putting more things into the room. That helped me kind of solidify what I wanted to do, the where. So, vacation home also needs a bar. So, I had to put a bar in. I again would love a refresh of the outdoor retreat pack where it has a bar. I know we get bars all over the place, but a nice like wooden panel, almost like the paneling that I have on the walls. Um, so it looks like that. That would be really cool, or something that matches the furniture in the game. Um, I would love something like that. I think that would help create these more cabin looks. And again, I was also trying not to use every pack. um, but so that kind of limited things as well. So I also wanted to add some plants in here because, of course, later on I have to switch those out for a Christmas tree. So I wanted, some plants in there to keep that same vibe of greenery, etc. All right, so I chose this painting from Seasons, and it does not match the decor. I don't know why. I don't change it in this main build at all. I do change it later for the Christmas build. Um, yeah, I just realized that it like hit me. I'm like, does not match the color scheme, but I kind of like it. So it's got the mountains and the rivers, and you know, has that vibe to it. So works for me. All right. So back over here to kind of play with the bar area. I love these little bar decor bottle shelves that came in cats and dogs. So that's pretty cool too. Um, I'm not sure how much I have from that pack either. I don't think it's a whole lot. So that might be something that if you own that pack, you'd be okay downloading this as well. All right, so I decided to use these curtains from For Rent um, because I could get them in a color scheme that worked. Um, at least I thought it kind of worked. It kind of pulls in the colors from the rug a little bit. Again, like we really need a base game curtain like that. That's just solid colors. Like, give us the colors of the rainbow and then a few more. That'd be great. All right, so over here, I really wanted to create this kind of cozy little reading nook spot. And so, yes, you will need Book Nook for this build. Um, if you want to keep this little area anyway. I thought putting in the nice little like built-in love seat and then using the shelving around this staircase just created a fun little area to relax by the fireplace. Again, I'm picturing lots of people here, lots of Sims, so you'll have lots of little places they can kind of go and hang out. I did debate on putting plants there, as you could see, but decided not to. I uh, I don't know. I didn't like how they looked, so I figured simple was better in that sense. All right, so here I'm trying to kind of figure out a coat area, what I want to use for that. Um, I do end up using this one. I think this one's from Laundry Day. So again, probably the only thing I have in here. Or if I have something else, it's a rug. But yeah, I do, as I've said before, for my builds and for any builds, place the lot and see what comes up. If you look at it and there's 500 objects that have been replaced and it looks pretty, weird, you probably want to choose a different build. But if you get in and there's four objects replaced because there was one item from four packs you don't own, one item each, then, the build should still work for you pretty well. So that's always my tip for people who don't own multiple packs. All right, so here I wanted to have a little bit of a rug just to cozy that area up a little bit, but I didn't want to do like runners. I did debate about it, but I decided not to. Um, you have the rug when you enter, wipe off your feet, etc. So, yeah. I did put a rug in the game room though. And I normally don't use the carpet in the game. I'm not a big fan of it. And I don't know why. I just don't like carpet. I don't like carpet very much in real life. I have it, uh, but I'd much rather have wood floors with, um, throw rugs. But I'm a renter, so I don't get to be too picky. I uh, I would love to get an apartment that had all wood floors, or fake wood floors. But I live in Nashville, and Nashville's expensive, and that is one of your luxury items they like to use to jack up rents. So, yeah. All right. So the game room didn't have a lot of decor I really loved to use for this one. But I was also thinking maybe I should put something in here for like little kids. And then I said no. So unfortunately with this build, the little kids don't have a whole lot. However, I am debating about making a small playground build here because I think they need one. There is kind of a playground over by the campsite, but there isn't like a lot they could go to. I don't know. Thought, let me know what you think in the comments below on that idea of putting a playground build in here, or if you've done it, how it's worked. All right, so here I took out the sofa I put in and decided to use these cute little like I don't know, pillow stacks. So I think one, oh, I can't even remember what packs those are from. One of the kids' packs for sure. And I thought that was more fitting for this build. All right, so you can see me again playing with these curtains, and I end up with the city living ones, um, playing with those. I could not get them to line up how I wanted to. It made me so mad. I had to play with the windows and the curtains so much in this build, especially this top floor, because nothing wanted to work with me. But I ended up doing the purple curtains, and I like it. I think it fits a game room. All right, so downstairs, I decided to put a gym in this space because I really couldn't figure out anything else to put in this space. But I thought a gym was fitting. It's a luxury vacation cabin. I will do a more rustic one eventually, I promise. I have done another rustic build and another rustic build in this world. I should specify that. But I believe that one may have used only base game in this in the outdoor retreat pack, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Um, I will try to remember to add it as one of the recommended videos at the end of this if you want to check out that build. It's a small little cabin. I like it. All right, so down here in the gym, the problem with doing the wood walls on the majority of this build is that I couldn't use the stickers without it looking weird. At least in my mind, it looks weird. So I was limited as to what I could put on some of the walls. Uh, and I didn't want to put a whole lot anyway because it's a big build. It's going to be an expensive vacation rental. And I didn't want to add to that expense with too many extras. So, all right. So here I'm playing with this, trying to figure out a rug. Um, I just wanted this cozy little area that you could sit and play a game of chess and, just do something. I do come back to that area, I believe, to play with it a little more, but I had to go to work, so I jumped over to the bedrooms when I opened the game back up later on. And these bedrooms, because they have the big windows in them, uh, they're set up interestingly. That's how I'm gonna put it. Interestingly. And I probably should have made one of these not a bunch of bunk beds, but they're bunk beds. What I did with this one is I decided to put these bunk beds in. I also did plan for if you had toddlers or babies. So there is a crib and a toddler bed here. Um, there's actually a couple because what I'll do is once I get these rooms pretty much figured out as to how I want them, I just copied and pasted these over to the other two rooms because that's what I wanted to do. I, sometimes with these bigger builds, I'll do things like that, but I actually wanted these rooms to match. So, not really match. They have different color schemes, but exact same setup, and so on. So I thought this was cool. You could always put, desk under here if you don't want to bring so many people. Um, I could not remember how many people you can bring to a vacation home, so this might be overkill anyway. but but that's okay. It's okay. I'd rather have too many beds than not enough. That's my opinion. By the way, I am like petting my cat exactly like the villain in Austin Powers right now. I just channeled that mentally. I don't know why. Because he's still on my lap. Happy as can be. So, all right. So, anyway, back to the build. All right, we'll talk about my cat forever. Um, excuse me. Apparently, I'm gonna have fun talking today. All right. So, rugs again. I struggle with rugs. I wanted at least something under each of these beds. And I thought these rugs were cute. They work. It's a vacation home. You know, it's a vacation cabin. It doesn't have to be perfect. So you can see here I copied the bedrooms over and uh and now just kind of changing everything around so they don't look exactly the same. Yeah, I did want them to be unique. So here working on the master bedrooms, trying to figure out how I want to set them up. So I decided that I wanted to create two spaces. So you have your bed area that's, facing the fireplace, very romantic, like, um, and then you have just kind of another area that I put different things in for each room. So here, trying to figure out the fireplace, and of course that had to stay tucked in. But I really like it. I wish we had a few more fireplaces that weren't like that would fit in that space, but were like the tall stonework. I think that would be nice, but I don't know how many people build their fireplaces like that. I do it all the time. Um, I did have to go through on the one in the middle and change how that fireplace was because if you play with, third walls, um, you the wall looked funny when you play with fireplaces. So I decided that I needed to change that. All right, so just a warning, cat on a desk. So we'll see if my light stays up and what he does here. Oh, he might just lay down. He's gonna behave today. All right. He's mad at me because I went Christmas shopping yesterday and was gone all day. And he's not used to that because I work from home. So I hardly leave my apartment. But yeah, so he's mad at me. All right. So anyway, on to our build. Desk area in here with a nice little bookshelf is what I kind of figured would be nice. I almost pictured this as something like, the kids would come in anyway and mess around with because one, it's The Sims, but two, even for a, normal family, I could see that. And so I wanted to kind of create these two separate spaces since I had the room to do it. And I didn't want to put a lot of interior stuff, um, but I think that worked. I think that created like a little extra officey space for, you know, the multiple Sims you could have in this build. And here, trying to figure out just, I don't know, how to make this look cozy. I was struggling. Um, again, I think it's just because I wanted more cabin vibes than Western vibes. So I couldn't use as much from Horse Ranch as I maybe would have liked to in this build because a lot of it has more of a Western or a Southwest. American Southwest theme to it, which is fine. It's just wasn't quite the vibe I was going for here. All right, so down here I decided to put this rack. I just figured it worked. We're in a vacation world, um, and I figured it would work fine for both a summery vacation home and a a Christmassy themed home. Um, I was trying not to change a whole lot with the Christmas end of things. So as I was going through this, I wanted to plan it out where most things worked for both pretty well. Uh, but I did change a few things. I will, you know, let that be known now. All right, so this room, again, trying to figure out a fireplace, mostly just because a lot of the rustic ones take up more room than what I had. I could have extended this fireplace, but I didn't want to. Um, so, yeah. But what I like about these rooms, the two master bedrooms, is they're different, but they still have a similar vibe to them. So, like this one, I put a nice little reading nook and just kind of a fun little area that you can sit and relax. And then, I don't know, this bedroom feels a little bit bigger. I'm not sure why. It's not. They're the same size, but it just feels bigger. But I like it. I was able to use the green here, so that made me happy. But the other nice thing, I could use seasons curtains, so that was great. Alright, so moving on to the hallway area, I really wanted a rug here. And I struggled again with rugs. Rugs are difficult. I tried. I'm gonna say that I tried to put in some cute rugs. But then I said, you know what? Let's just use carpet and we'll make a runner. And that seemed to work well. I decided on this green one, but then I couldn't figure out how big I wanted to make the runner. Uh, so I kind of have this L-shaped thing going on here, and it works. Is it my favorite configuration? No, but it does work. So yeah, if you don't like that, replace it with the wood floor. Honestly, I'm somebody who loves the wood floors in general, like in hallways without rugs. But I wanted a cozy vibe, so yeah. So that was why I struggled so much with rugs. I was trying to create kind of a cozy look. All right, back here, I know, Christmassy build, but we're also using this as a, year-round vacation home. So I put in a pool. I did put in the vents from Get Together, so it should work even in the snow, hopefully. I know sometimes those work and sometimes those don't. Um, but yeah, I did create this pool area and it was very weird doing this in the snow, but I didn't want to change the vibe of the video at this point. And yeah, I think it all worked out pretty good. I like the little fire pit out here and just the horseshoe pit. And of course, I put in these bushes that eventually I'll replace in the second part of the build. And I think it's a cute little cabin. Um, I kept the landscaping kind of simple, or at least that was my intention at first. Um, but I added in some really cool things. Added in some trees, of course. Uh, just trying to fill this front yard area in a bit. And eventually, I I stopped recording and went through and did all the terrain paint. And it is a pretty cool build, um, or a pretty cool look in the front with the terrain paint and what the ground of the lot was. So there's a group of trees up in the front that almost looks like it has a path winding through it. It ended up really cool. Um, I don't think I showed a picture of it because I did, more of the Christmas theme with the snow on the ground. But I loved how that looked. Absolutely loved how that looked. So here, just trying to figure out an outdoor, you know, eating area. I I wanted something because again, year round. Um, but there is a fireplace, so you will stay nice and toasty. And yeah, so all right, we are on to the next part of the build. So this is me going through and adding in all of the wonderful Christmas decor. I tried not to throw up Christmas, okay? Um, I started to. You can see this here with the door decorations. I decided I really didn't like how those looked big like that, so the bigger ones get removed. I leave the ones on the smaller doors. Um, but I put in decor, got it festive looking, and I really like it. I decided to put these like small wall hangings above the doorways, the bigger doorways, and that worked well. Downstairs, I did it. You'll see me do it, but they floated when you brought the walls down, and I don't know why. So I deleted those later on when I went through and did some more play testing. I did play test this a little bit as I went along because in order to build in the snow, you have to be in live mode and then build mode. You can't just join in build mode. So if you didn't know that, that's how you can build in the snow and in the fall or, spring if you want that look. But so that's what I had to do. I also went through and did all of this wonderful stuff for this fireplace. And you will see in the photos that I changed the fireplace and it's a season's fireplace instead. So, okay. Dad's back. This is a long video. He's like, pay attention to me. Um, but the idea of it still stays the same. All that decoration that I put in is there. I just changed the fireplace out. Mostly because I wanted to use the new TV that I got just as I was finishing this build from the event. So that's on there. You'll see in the photos where I remembered I wanted to change that because the view from the kitchen is what you see now, and then the view in the living room is different. So you won't see me change that fireplace on camera anyway. I changed it after, and I just wasn't going to go in and redo it for that little bit. So, but I like it better. I think it's more festive that way. All right, so going through and I added all these candles on this table and did all that. Got everything, hot cocoa station from the new event. Um, so that's in here as well. And curtains. Back to curtains. I am pointing out curtains one more time, only because I ended up using curtains from Dine Out. It is, I believe, the only thing from Dine Out in this build. I didn't love the way these looked from For Rent. Um, I don't know, it just didn't quite work right. So, yeah, I do like the ones from Dine Out, but if you have For Rent and you don't have Dine Out, these curtains do work well. I wanted a little more coverage on the windows. It's cold. So I wanted a little more of a covered look. And I don't know why. I didn't worry about it in the rest of the build. So, but apparently in here that was a goal. But it works out in the end. I figured it out. And then here I move over to this fireplace. Same thing, lots of pretty candles. just getting some things put in. I tried very hard to keep items from floating randomly. Um, as I said, it wasn't an issue on the main floor, but it was on the basement floor. Um, but I don't think anything else is floating besides those. And as I said, I took them out before uploading. So, all right. And then in here, I kind of went through, played around with this with an original plan of keeping the blue, um, but still having it feel that, you know, red and green Christmassy feel. With this one, I definitely stuck to more traditional Christmas vibes. Um, Added these fun Christmas trees on the patio just because I had room for them. And yeah, just kind of decorating up a little bit. As I said, at this point, I had already gone through and done the terrain paint. Now I'm just replacing the bushes I can anyway with um, the ones that light from the seasonal event we're still doing anyway. Because I just thought that would be a fun addition, especially right now, as most of you should probably have that. So this, I decided, you know what? No, I want to change over to this holiday build or the holiday table. It fits well. I'm going to be honest. I think the chairs and this table work beautifully together. I did struggle with rugs again, but I found this one. Um, I know it doesn't quite match the green, but it matches the plants that are green, so it works in my mind. Um, so I thought that was a cool thing. Eventually, I realized the curtains are still blue, and I changed those out, I believe. But I'm not sure if you see that. That's what I'm not sure on. But and decorating, of course, the interior here, so the entryway's all pretty. Um, just kind of those, those little things, adding in different things. I've used a few of the wreaths from the new event and just, going around and figuring out where to put what. So there's a little bit of jumping around now. I tried to limit between floors. Um, Not sure how well I did that, but I tried to. So here I thought about it and went, you know what? I think I want to hang something from the stair area. So I closed it in, took out the stairs, closed it in. Um, and then I was able to hang this up over the stairwell, and I thought that added a nice little touch to this area of the build. I didn't do a lot down here. I replaced a couple of things in the bedrooms, added a few things in the bedrooms, but like the kids' bedrooms, I think they all got a wreath and maybe like a couple of other little things, but nothing too crazy. Put these window decals that I thought were fun in this one. And yeah, not too crazy in the kids' bedrooms. I didn't do a lot in the main bedrooms either, but I did do a little more. So you've got, a little more decor in here. uh, Some, just some more accents. Presents, hidden presents. Okay, they're not really hidden, but presents. So added those in, and you can see me here. This is where these were floating. So these are actually not in the build that you'll download because they floated and they drove me crazy. So I figured they'd drive most of you crazy as well. All right, so here I wanted to improve this area, so I added in the more festive fireplace. And I believe this is where I remembered I wanted to put it upstairs. Um, so that gets updated after this. As I said, I'm pretty sure I didn't show it in the video, but I actually no, I know I didn't because I didn't change it till I did photos. I said that earlier. Um, because I forgot again. Oh well. Oh well. But still, the build turned out really cute. Um, I I did not intend for it to be as big as it is, but as I was building, I really just I liked it. I like the idea of you could bring maybe siblings and their families here, um, mom and dad could have a bedroom and then, that, I don't know, fight over the other master. I don't know. So lots of different things. So I do also want to point out, I put in the tree you can decorate. I did not decorate it, so it's there and available. I also did have to move the presents on the right side of the screen. You couldn't get to the fireplace, and I figured that out when I was doing photos. So I had to move those, so those presents aren't there. I did put some smaller ones in though, so the vibe's still there. All right, so we're back to rugs and me struggling with rugs again. I will say, if you're somebody who struggles with finding rugs, um, I've started sorting them by color because I have noticed that you see swatches that you would not even think were on a rug, and that helps. All right, so I ended up using this one from Life and Death. I already used it in the dining room. Um, I think that's all I have from Life and Death are the green and the red rugs, but not 100% sure on that. Um, but it worked. The are perfect. They're Christmas colors. It's crazy. I didn't even think about that until, I did this build. That, the Life and Death pack has a Christmas undertone. Okay. It really doesn't, but rugs work. All right, so kind of just going through this little area. Um, I also want to state that I added a few more things off camera to the back area. There's some lighting, some bushes to kind of close off the pool a little bit. I Again, it was when I was doing photos that I was like, this needs a little bit more. So I added in the seasons like lights. You'll see those in the photos. And I like them because you can change those out depending on when you're vacationing here. So that was fun. That's a fun little touch anyway, I think so. All right, so just trying to decorate the outside a little bit. Um, I did put in a seasons box. It's in one of the main bedrooms or the master bedrooms. And now it's just decorating, with extra stuff that we can put in. And I didn't want to go too crazy, but I wanted it to be festive. And I think I managed to pull that off. So here, just kind of double checking, making sure I like how the front of it looks and everything in that I wanted. But yeah, I think this turned out really cute. I I wish we had a few more outdoor decorations, I guess. I would love to see like a sleigh and a sleigh and reindeer. That would be cool. I tried using these little lights. That's where the path is I was telling you about. Um, but I didn't love it. So I ended up taking those out. And I think I just put regular lights in over there. But yeah, it was just, it wasn't working the way I'd hoped. All right, so we are coming up to the end of the build. And again, more finishing touches. And here we go. So this photo is not as snowy because when I play tested, I didn't realize it had switched to spring overnight. So a few of these photos are not the greatest, but I am going to let you take a look at the photos and I will be right back. All right, so I do hope you enjoyed this build. I had a lot of fun doing this one. I, until recently, was not as into the Christmas spirit as I sometimes am. I'll say it is a hard time of year for me, but uh, this helped me get back into it a little bit. So I'm excited because next week's video is going to be our Yule market. Um, It'll be Christmas themed because The Sims doesn't have a lot of just like general Yule type stuff, I guess. But I'm gonna call it a Yule market. For those who don't know, Yule is more of a, uh, I believe, a more of a pagan type name for the time. Um, and then you have Christmas that all fall around the same time frame. So I wanted to make it more of a Yule market. Um, so we'll see how that ends up working out. I'm still working on it, so hopefully I'll get that done faster than I think it's going to take, but we'll see. All right, so if you like this build, please hit the like button, just so I know what type of builds you guys enjoy. And don't forget to subscribe as well. And if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to check out the other cabin build that I will have at the end screen. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye now.